Joining us right now, we've got Bhargavi joining us. Bhargavi Srinivasulu is joining us. And after her Ph.D., she chose to focus on researching the ecology, distribution, and taxonomy of insectivorous bats in India. So she has earned numerous grants for her work, including by the Bat Conservation International Endangered Species Grant for the study and conservation of the critically endangered Kolar leaf-nosed bat. So we've got her sitting backstage and ready to jump in with us. Let's bring her in. Hello, how are you doing today?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for being with us today, taking us to another continent, another country. And we talked about bats a little bit earlier today, but we love sharing these stories of the ecosystem services bats do for us. They have such a bad reputation, but in reality, they do so much for us. We need them.
Yeah, true, absolutely true. Thank you very much for inviting me, Joe.
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to let you take over for a little bit and take us
Sure.
into your work.
Yeah.
There we go. I see the screen loading. And there it is. All right.
Did I miss it?
No, there it is. Yep, perfect.
Okay. Is that fine now?
Yeah, looks great. Nice and full screen.
Yeah, cool. Hi, I'm Bhargavi. I'm an independent postdoctoral researcher from Osmania University, India. I'm here to talk to you about conserving the critically endangered Kolar leafnose bat. So, Kolar leafnose bat was discovered and described around 1994 by scientists from National Institute of Virology in India. These people were surveying and collecting bats for studying the amount of viruses the bats carry and any antibodies that they have. So they wanted to research about that. So they were capturing bats and then they were studying them. While doing so, a couple of scientists from the National Institute of Virology, they found that this particular, a few specimens were a bit different from the other leaf-nosed bats. These were actually, misidentified as commonly occurring leaf-nosed bats. But when these two people, took a closer look, they found that this is a bit different from them, because this particular leaf-nosed bat has a couple of supplementary leaflets over here that you can see on the sides. This whole thing is a nose leaf, and on either side of the nose leaf, you have one pair of supplementary leaflets. And this is a very unique character that is found only in the Kolar leaf-nosed bat and no other leaf-nosed bat in the entire world. So based on this character, they have named this species as Hipposideros hypophyllus, under the leaf, a leaflet under the leaf. So, and they described it, and then they found it to be present in only two locations in Kolar district of Karnataka, which is in South India. Those two locations were Theralli and Hanmanalli. So they said that in these two locations, this particular species of bat is found. It is in Karnataka. That was the only thing that we all knew as bat biologists. And many others tried to search for this bat and they could not find it. And then we've also been looking for this bat since year 2000. So in the meantime, what I did was in year 2013, I applied for grants from MBZ and RSG, and I could get some grants. And then I along with my team of volunteers, we set out for searching for this species, and then we landed in Kolar. So we first went up to Therali, and this is how Therali looks like. It's all a bouldery, hilly habitat with loads of caves everywhere you can see. So we searched high and low in the whole of Therali, but we couldn't find this species anywhere. So after that, we tried to interact with the locals, because the locals would be having all the knowledge of their area. So we interacted with them, in tried to speak in their own language, and try to find out if there are any localities of bats that they know of. So we luckily found an elderly person in Terali, who said that when he was a young kid, he accompanied a couple of researchers into a very narrow crevice just up a hill, and then there he found some bats. So we followed his lead, and then we went there, and then we searched, and then we got other species of bat, but not the Kolar leaf-nosed bat that we were looking for. So we came back to the elderly person's home, and then we asked him as to where Hanuman Ali was. So he said it's on the other side of Kolar, so we should go there, and then we should search over there. So we went the next day, and then as we were going towards the village of Hanuman Ali, we found a monolith granite hill being mined illegally by granite miners. So all these miners, what they do is they first make holes in the granite hill, small holes, and then they stuff it with hay, and then they lit fire to the hay so that it heats up the granite slabs, and then those slabs become very easy to cut using hammer and chisel. So that's what the person is doing over there. So we that's how we saw the mining that was going on, and up close, this is what it looked. And we were going around, and then we went to the village, and then we found out with the village elders that there were some caves that they, as young kids, used to frequent into playfully, and also to collect guano for fertilizing their fields. So it's by the side of the hill, that's what we were informed. So we came back to the hill, we climbed up, and then we started searching, and then there was one place which smelled very strongly of guano. And this was a place, this is just a huge gap between between granite slabs. We can just climb over this, and then walk away. So it was almost unnoticeable, if not for for the smell of guano. So we decided to wait it out, and then we waited till the evening, and the miners were getting a bit suspicious of our presence, but we said we were just looking for bats, nothing to worry. And then they left after some time. But some of them were still very suspicious of us. So we just waited off till the night. And then once the bats emerged, once it was time for the bats to emerge, we set up our mist nets, and then we caught around 8 to 10 individuals of bats, and we were putting them in each in a cloth bag, so that they can breathe and then be safe. We heard shouts and torchlights. We saw torchlights moving very fast towards our direction. We got a bit scared that we were being chased by miners, and then we ran to save ourselves and our bats to the nearest highway. We sat on the pavement by the highway and started to extract one bat after the other from the bags, and then we started to take their basic measurements, so as to be able to identify later on, and also their pictures, and then we were releasing them back to the wild so that they can be safe. While doing so, around 5 individuals we have released. The sixth individual was very golden in color. It had dark, large ears, and it had one pair of supplementary leaflets. We literally were screaming with joy, and then that was the happiest moment of all our lives. And that was the Kolar leaf nose bat, and that was for the first time in 2013 in November. Anyone has photographed it. That it was our team who has photographed this bat for the first time, and this was the most beautiful bat I've ever laid my eyes on. I mean, if you are seeing it, you might also enjoy just looking at it for hours together. It's a very beautiful bat. We took its measurements, took its pictures, and reluctantly let it go. But we had to let it go because we wanted it to survive. And the rest of the bats also, we did the same thing, and then we let them away, and then we were absolutely happy and slept there on the pavement right there on the road. Then we continued with our surveys and then came back to our lab. And over there, we planned a multiple approach methodology to tackle this situation of mining and this protecting this bat, because the mining had progressed to barely 100 meters to the entrance of the cave where this bat was living, and this bat was sharing its cave with another 3 species of leaf-nosed bats. So if we did not do anything about it, we would lose this Kolar leaf-nosed bat and also all the other species of leaf-nosed bats forever. So we really decided to take an action immediately rather than just writing a scientific paper and then letting it be. So what we did was, first initially we started to publish scientific papers, because based on scientific fact it's very easier to convince the officials or the community people to take action or to make them understand the urgency of the situations. That's what we did first. We started to publish lots of papers about this bat and its situation, and that the mining is going on. And also we have given in detail as to how it looks like, what its habitat was, and how far the mining has come, what was the urgency of the situation. And because of all these reasons, we assessed the status of the bat to be critically endangered. And based on our paper, the IUCN Red List of threatened species, they have also upgraded the IUCN status of this bat to critically endangered status. And we also did morphometric studies, molecular genetic studies, and also echolocation studies. Everything possible, we were trying to gather as much scientific information as possible about this bat and also the bats that were living along with us, along with it in the same cave. As we were studying the bats that are living in the same cave, we also came across another endangered bat that was living in the same cave along with the Kolar leaf-nosed bat. And this particular bat, Durgadas's leaf-nosed bat, was reported only from 3 caves in central India. And this was the 4th location. So it was more like more the merrier. More, if we have 2 endangered or rare bats, more power to us. So what we did was, now that we have these 2 information with us, let's start talking to the officials, talking to the anyone and everyone who will care to hear to us. So at this point of time, my husband and also my colleague, Dr. Chalmala Srinivasulu, who is a professor at Osmania University, and our son, Mr. Adi, who is presently doing his Ph.D. in University of Reading, they jumped in, and then we all became a big team, and then we started our awareness activities at Kolar. So first thing was we meet the officials, make them aware that they have a very rare bat in Karnataka and it doesn't exist anywhere else in the world, and it is known from only one subterranean cave, and that cave is being threatened very severely by illegal mining that is going on the hill where that cave is located. So we started doing that. We started talking to all the officials about that, and then we also talked to the print media personnel, because print media is a very powerful media. So we spoke to them, we made them aware, gave them all the necessary information that they need. Our scientific papers also that we gave them, so that they can understand that we are not just making cooking up facts or any such thing, but these whatever we are talking is based on scientific facts and scientific proofs that we have done, scientific studies that we have done. So we gave all these people all the information, and because of that, what happened was, um we started to publish information regarding this bat, and also bats in general, and how important they are, how useful they are for the ecosystem in local languages, in state and national newspapers. We started to do that, and also at the same time we went to the schools and colleges, and also started to create awareness in the schools and colleges in the whole of the Kolar town. Every possible college and school we would go, and then create awareness among them. The forest officials who would or the forest staff who would accompany us, we would create awareness among them. And also we started to interact a lot with the villagers in at Hanmanhalli, and made them aware about the bats. And we used to talk to them, and then all these elderly villagers, they used to reminisce as to how when they were young boys they would go inside the cave, try to hide from their friends, or go inside to get guano, and then help their parents with using it as a fertilizer. And they used to say that life at that time was good without any pesticides, our food was good. And now, because of the mining and all those things, our crops are failing, our water table has fallen. So they were also very supportive when we were saying that the first thing we need to do is to stop mining from happening. And these people were also wanting the same thing. The lady that you see in the picture was the head of the village at that time when we started our awareness activities. So she spearheaded a small protest, wherein she took all the ladies of her village and then sat on the across the highway, so to protest mining from happening. But then not many people took her very seriously. So now that we were all coming from quite far away, and then telling them that the ill effects of mining on the habitat, and also on the bats, these people were very very interested, and they were very very cooperative about it. So we started to give them more and more information, interact with them constantly, day and night, whatever, and they were very willing to know more about it. And each and every villager was very very interested in all this that we were doing. And if you can see in this photograph, young and old, each and every one was there with us. So the community was the one that was supporting us throughout what we were doing. And they knew the positive effects of stopping of mining. Also, another thing was, they had a religious sentiment with regards to this hill. They were legends has it that long ago, in the epic of Ramayana, goddess Sita had come along with her twin children to take shelter near the hill. So they never wanted this hill to be mined or destroyed, because it had a very religious significance to it, and they were associating a fact that because of the mining happening, our crops are failing and our water table has fallen. Maybe goddess Sita is cursing us that we are allowing the mining to happen. So if we stop all this from happening, maybe our lives and our habitat will be better. So we also like cashed in on that sentiment, and we said, yes, that's absolutely true. Let's all put together, work together, and then stop the mining from happening. So what we did was, the person who is wearing the tall person who is wearing a jersey, so he was the honorary wildlife warden, Mr. Tyagaraj, who helped us immensely during our field works, and then in networking with the villagers and other officials. So he in his presence, what we did was, we jotted down a letter to the concerned official who was who takes care of the entire district. He's called a district collector. So we wrote a letter urging him to stop mining, and so each and every villager, be it a lady or a gent, or a child, whoever, they have signed or given thumbprints in support of that letter, and then we submitted this to the local government. And gradually, based on all these pressure, these kind of letters from the scientists from Osmania University, that is us, and also from the villages of Hanman Ali, both of us going together, and then urging the officials to take immediate action. It so happened that the officials came down to the Hanmanhalli village. They conducted a meeting along with all the village elders in the Hanmanhalli village, and in 2015, order was issued banning mining in the on the hill and in the surrounding areas. So that was a major boost for all of us who were working towards protecting this bat. Now, we didn't stop here. We continued, and we continued meeting the state forest department head, the elected members of the parliament that are posted in the Kolar district. Every possible higher up, we started to meet, and then again make them aware, again repeat the whole story, and then showed them the mining ban. And we said, please, they need to take action. And in 2018, there was a huge meeting in the Karnataka Forest Department, which is a state forest department. Over there, I had gone to present this case once again, and then there were at least five principal chief conservator of forests over there, of different divisions, and they heard it all out, and then they said that they are going to take care of this very rare bat, and that we don't have to worry. And that resulted in a Kolar leaf-nosed bat conservation reserve being declared on January 9th, 2019. This was the most amazing and the most happiest achievement for all of us. And we were really thrilled because they took this very seriously, because if it is a tiger, it would a conservation reserve or a protected area would have been constituted immediately, but this is a bat. So people taking thing seriously would take time, but it didn't take much time. Within 6 years span of time, a conservation reserve was declared. And we immediately informed the villagers, because without the villagers' cooperation and help, this would have never been possible. And it was the strength, the dedication of, and the knowledge of the community that was with us, which is why this conservation reserve got declared. So we were met with, sweets and all sorts of nice stuff by the villagers when we next went to visit them. This is very customary in India, that we welcome the guests by sweets and all. So we all celebrated. We really were extremely happy about it. But then again, we didn't stop here. We at the same time, simultaneously, as a professor, Dr. Srinivasulu would constantly write letters to the State Forest Department and to the central government to include this species under Indian Wildlife Protection Act. It was not protected at all. So in 2021, this bat, sorry, uh, I'm sorry, I jumped. This bat was included under Indian Wildlife Protection Act, another major feat of inclusion of a bat based on all these works. That was just amazing to know. There are still tiny issues. Mining is going on, but to a very less extent. There are some loose stones and all those things that are being taken away. There are no huge machines or any such thing. A few people come, take out a few stones for their use, and then they go away. So that is happening. And this scene is of a hillock, once upon a time hillock, that was present right opposite to the hillock on which the Kolar leafnosed bat roost is present. So this was once upon a time a hillock. Like when we were doing our surveys initially in 2013, this was already being mined. It was, three-fourth mined. A bit was still left. And today, if you go, it is like this, completely mined. There's no signs of a hillock. It's a huge big depression in which water gets collected during monsoon. So it's such a sad situation. So had we and the villagers not taken an action, this would have been the fate of the Hanmanhalli hill, and we would have lost that species for forever. Present day situation is the whole area is nice and green. The forest department, in consultation with us, has taken up some plantations and water management systems. And also, now these bats, because they are not being disturbed due to mining or other human disturbance, because it is not happening over there, they have explored other parts of the hill. And then their population has increased, because of which couple of species have moved out from the main cave, and then they are inhabiting other subterranean cave systems on the other side of the hill, and then their population also is increasing. It's a wonderful sight to see. And when they emerge, it's a very beautiful experience to sit there and then feel so many bats come out. Like when we started, there were very few bats. I mean, we estimated the bats to be around 200 to 50 estimation, a rough estimation. Presently, it's just a swarm of bats coming out for minutes together. So it goes on. It's presently very wonderful. The ecosystem has healed. There's greenery everywhere. The water table has improved, because of which the people, the community is able to grow more crops over there. And it's like, all in all, a positive situation. People are happy because their lives are also become better. And also the mining has stopped, and we as bat biologists, we are also happy on one side that this species is protected. Yeah, that's the continuation of that. Moving forward, what we have done is we have submitted a species specific conservation action plan as to how the management, the habitat needs to be managed, and how the species or its hill can be protected and managed. All those different aspects we have included, and then we have submitted a action plan. And this is the schedule one that I was talking to you about. So if any species is included under schedule 1 of Indian Wildlife Protection Act, no one is allowed to access it at all without the proper permission of the principal chief wildlife warden. Also, even with permission, we are not supposed to collect or get inside its cave or any such thing. Photographs are allowed, but other than that, no other access is allowed. So it's a very happy situation that Hipposideros hypophyllus has been provided the topmost protection by the Indian Wildlife Protection Act. So we are absolutely thrilled. It's more like in India, now Hipposideros hypophyllus is equivalent to a tiger. So you cannot, you'll be imprisoned if you kill a tiger. In a similar manner, you will be imprisoned if you kill a hypophyllus. So wonderful feeling. So our work got featured by Bat Conservation International, who provided us the Endangered Species Grant uh, for studying the ecology and dietary aspects of this species that we have recently concluded a couple of months ago, and we are having wonderful results about that. Yeah, thank you very much for this opportunity.
All right, Bhargavi, thank you so much for that great story. There's so many good parts of it. The best, I think, being that a species, bats that are often ignored for the more glamorous tigers and pandas and things like that, are getting the respect they deserve and the protection they deserve.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. And I'm curious, a quick question before we wrap up. You talked about the search to find this species. How long did that search last?
Ah, we have been searching since 2000 onwards.
Uh-huh.
And not only us, there were other researchers from Bangalore and other surrounding areas. They were also searching, but they couldn't find this species anywhere.
Yeah.
So we were the first ones to find it, and
Amazing.
it was good.
Amazing. Well, it's such a great story. I have no doubt that there's more successes to come. So we look forward to following along the story and hopefully having you back for an update on
Yeah.
everything that's happening.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well, again, thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. And yeah, hopefully you can tune in for a few more events today.
Thank you, Joe. Thanks a
Okay.
lot. Bye bye.